we're going to get our pot ready. This is an All-American 921 on a glass top stove. I heard a lot of people say you can't do this on a glass top stove. The problem is it just gets really heavy when you put everything in it. And if you drag it across it when it's heavy, it'll crack it. I've been doing it for a long time. Never had a problem. Just don't drag it. Set it where it goes, and then you don't move it till it's empty. Direction on this canner say 3 quarts. So we're going to put 3 quarts of water in here. If you have a smaller canner, follow the directions for the canner. Okay, the rule is a pint is 1 pound, a quart is 2 pounds. So adjust accordingly to your canner and the size jars you're using. Pretty simple. So we're going to put 3 quarts of water in here. Cold water because we are raw packing. Raw packing means we're putting raw food, room temperature or refrigerator temperature, in the jars. So you don't want to have hot jars or hot water because you'll shock the glass and break it. So cold food, cold water, cold canner. Now your jars will come out cloudy, especially if you have well water, and your pot will start turning black. So a few sprinkles of cream of tartar will eliminate all those problems. Put the rack in. For a raw pack, that's all you got to do. Pretty simple. Now, I have an All-American, so there's no rubber gasket. So it's a metal-on-metal seal. So I simply put a little bit of olive oil around the rim. And that helps it from getting stuck and also helps you get a better seal. So, all right, here we go. Mississippi pot roast. You can use chuck roast, rump roast. We were fortunate enough to find stew meat on sale for half off. So we got 15 pounds of stew meat. Even better, don't have to cut it up. We're going to fill each jar, clean, dry jars, halfway up, packing them in tight. Just going to keep going until we get them all about halfway full. get them tight. Tighter the better. Once they're halfway full, we're going to put pepperoncini in there. I know I'm not saying that right. I'll try to put it on the screen for you. Put one of them guys on top. And then you're going to take 3 1-ounce packages of ranch and 3 1-ounce packages of au jus and mix all that together. And you're going to go 1 tablespoon per jar. And get all that in there. And then you're going to go ahead and tightly pack the rest of the jars with the rest of your stew meat. And then you're going to go 1 more pepperoncini on top. And then 1 tablespoon of the pepperoncini juice per jar. And get all that in there. Just like that. Then you're going to take some white vinegar in a paper towel, and you're going to carefully wipe each rim. You got to get all the food particles, grease, anything that's on the rim there. You got to get all that off of there. Clean it really good so you get a good seal. Just like that. And that vinegar will help cut any of the grease or any of that stuff. Get all your jars clean. Now, when you put the ring on, fingertip tight. When that towel moves, that's tight. That's it. Simply place your lid. And as soon as that towel moves, that's tight enough. We're going to place them into the cold canner. Our All-American 921 holds 7 on the bottom. Then you place a rack on top, and it'll hold 8 more on top. For a total of 15 jars. Place the lid on top, lining up the arrows. Now here you want to make sure the lid is level. Look at both sides, all 4 sides, making sure that there's not a big gap on one side and a small gap on the other. And then place your clamps opposite each other first. Lightly screw them down. Opposite sides, screw them down. And the goal here is to keep it straight, so you're going to do opposite sides a little at a time and work your way around until they're all tight. Now our oven is extremely consistent, so we've learned that we put it on 7. And now we're going to wait. Once it starts venting, you'll see about that high. You don't always see the steam, but when you can feel it 12 to 18 inches above the pot coming out pretty strong, that's a strong vent. You're going to set a timer for 10 minutes and let it vent for 10 minutes. And then you're going to place your weight on it. Just like that. And then you're going to keep an eye on it. Once it starts to jiggle, it comes up to 10 pounds of pressure, or the pressure for your area. That's when you start your timer for your food. Here we got pints of meat, so we're doing 75 minutes. Now that we started jiggling, we're going to turn it down to 6 on our stove, just like that. And we've got our timer set for 75 minutes. All right, 75 minutes is up. We're going to turn the stove off. And now we're going to wait until the pressure comes down to 0. All right, pressure's at 0. So we're going to remove our weight. And now we're going to set a 10-minute timer. After 10 minutes, we're going to come and we're going to remove the lid and just set it off to the side for another 10 minutes. And this slows the process down to prevent siphoning. The longer this takes, doesn't hurt anything. If you were to go to bed right now, leave it in the pot, doesn't matter. We generally do more than one batch a day, so usually about 10 minutes. So just set it off to the side there. That just prevents the pressure from releasing too fast. And we'll come back in 10 minutes. All right, 10 minutes. And we're going to remove the lid and carefully pull out the jars and put them on a towel. Try not to bump them into each other. Place them straight on a towel. And that's where they're going to stay for 12 to 24 hours. You don't want to mess with them. You don't want to move them. You don't want to tighten the lids or remove the lids. Don't do anything to them. Don't be poking at them. You're going to let them sit there for 12 to 24 hours. Just like that. After about 12 hours, remove all the rings and thoroughly wash the jars because there's going to be a little grease and food on the outside of them. You need to wash all that off before you put it on your shelf. Also a good time to check your seals. See it bubbling there? That's a good sign you're going to get a good seal. Look at all the juice it made. Oh, 12 hours later, take the ring off, check your seal. You should not be able to pull that off with your finger. And give it a good wash. Warm soap and water is all you need. Put a date on the lid. Put it on the shelf. Now we're going to open one. This is an easy one to cook. Just pour it out into a pan and heat it up. This is delicious. In my opinion, it's better than 12 hours in a crock pot. Make some mashed potatoes. Put that gravy on top. Delicious. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Check back in about a week. We'll have another one. See you.
Is that okay?